Hello, everybody. This paper entitled with Social Media Technology Adoption for Improving MSMES Performance in Bandung, a Technology Organization Environment or TOE framework, written by Dr. Astri Wulandari, Bethany Suryawardani, and me, Dandi Marcelino. Okay, we are from Telkom University. Next, the research background or the introduction. City and Regency of Bandung are two regions that experience the best MSME growth in West Java. This is because the two regions are included in the position of three regions in West Java with the largest numbers of MSMEs. In addition, the two regions consistently succeeded in achieving the five regions in West Java with best financial performance measured by cost-to-income ratio. MSMEs business does not have bureaucracy and a complicated system, making it easier to adopt new technology. Okay. Okay. Previous research on social media is based on a theory that analyzes adopting of social media at individual level, although it examines use of social media. These theories like TPB or theory brand behavior and time theory acceptance model, the appropriate theory when studying IT adoption at organizational level is TOE or technology organization environment framework. Our study chose the TOE framework because in previous studies the TOE framework was better able to explain the adoption of technological innovation, and TOE was the most widely theory used at organizational level adoption. Our research used the combine of TOE framework with several characteristics from diffusion of innovation theory or the DUI to explore the effect of social media adoption on performance in SMEs. Okay, this is the research framework. We can see that this is the independent variable, technology, organization, and environment. This is the mediating variable is social media adoption. And the last is this is a MSMES performance. Technology. Technology describe any technology with used by company or already know are available as a potential useful, but not yet used. Then the organization variable are characteristic of an internal company, including the size, centralization, formalization level, also in management and staffing uses like staff relation and network. Then the environment is a variable used to find out all factors from outside, include condition under the organization operating, etc. Social media adoption. Social media adoption is an interest medium is an online platform that can be used by anyone who has an internet network to add insight and relationship with many people and can become a new business tool for company. And then the last is MSMES performance, described as actual benefit that SME receives from social media application, both in financial or non-financial terms. We can see the hypothesis one is how technology affected the social media adoption. The hypothesis two is how organization influence the social media adoption. The hypothesis three is how environment affected social media adoption. The hypothesis four is how organization affected the the hypothesis four is how social media adoption affected the MSMES performance. Hypothesis 5 is how technology affected the MSMES performance. Hypothesis 6 is how organization affected the MSMES performance. And the last hypothesis 7 is how environment influenced the MSMES performance. Okay, we can see the research methodology. We use a quantitative research with causal approach. We know that causal is determine how the independent variable have a relation with the dependent variable. In the study, the sample are SMEs who have adopted social media technology and domicile in the city and regency of Bandung, whose the number of 14,400 respondents. This research used structural equation model analysis technique. SAM provide the ability to do path analysis with latent variable. SAM has a higher flexibility for research to connect between theory and the data. That's why I choose the SAM research tools. In this research, I use Smart PLS software. Okay, then we will discuss about the result of this research. This is the auto model. You can see the auto model in this research. This is a loading factor, yeah. This is the loading factor value. This is loading factor value, okay. This is loading factor value. This is loading factor value, and this one is loading factor value. In convergent validity, an indicator will be set. In auto model, we will determine the validity test. There are two validity tests. The first is convergent validity. In convergent validity, an indicator will be set valid if loading factor value is greater than 0.5. We can see that all indicator in this part is greater than 0.5. The second is the discriminant validity. Discriminant validity will compare the mean value of the extract variance average or AVE of its construct with correlation between another construct in this model. If the mean square root variance of the extract or AVE construct is higher than correlation with all construct, it said have discriminant validity well. Okay. In paper, I describe that all of the discriminant validity is well because the value of AVE is greater than the others. Okay. Next, in auto model, we get a value of reliability. We must count about the reliability test. Okay. In this reliability test, there are two measurements. The first is composite reliability. Composite reliability can be said reliable if the critical value is greater than 0.7. And then the second is Cronbach's alpha. Cronbach's alpha, you can say that they are reliable if the value is more than 0.6. We can see that all of the value is more than 0.6. In composite reliability, all of the value is greater than 0.7. We can say that all of the variable is reliable. And then if the all variable is valid and reliable, we can do the next step is in inner model. We can see the inner model. Inner model used to know the t count to get the t count value for the hypothesis test. This is 9.6, 2.3, 9, sorry, 6.9, 35.6. This is the t count value. We can see in this part, this is the t count value. This is the direct effect, x1 to y, x2 to y, x3 to y, y to z. This is the indirect effect, x1 to y to z, x1, x2 to z stroke y, x3 to z stroke y. we can see all of the T count is greater than or more than the critical value. The critical value is 1.9. We can say that all of the hypothesis is accepted. Okay, this is the PET coefficient. PET coefficient will be used in first and second structure equation model. Okay, this is the first SEM and this is the second SEM. In first SEM, we only talk about TOE with social media. Okay, this is the first SEM. In second SEM, we will discuss about all of this part, technology, TOE, social media, and the performance. Okay, we can see that in first structure is only the direct effect because there are not a mediating variable. We can see the x1 is 20.3%, x2 is 1.1%, x3 is 20.6%, then the simultaneous effect is 66.9%, and the error is 33.0%. In second structure atau second substructure, we can see that x1 is a 13.3% if the direct effect. But in indirect effect, we can see that there are 29.6. We can see there are greater than the indirect effect is greater than the direct effect. In x2, we can see that the direct effect is only 0.7%, but in indirect is 6.9%. Wow, fantastic. The x3 is the direct effect is 8.3% and indirect is 23.3%. We can see that the indirect effect is greater than from the direct effect. And the last is variable y to z is 65.6%. The simultaneous effect is 65.61%, and the error is 34.3%. Okay, the conclusion. These results found empirical evidence that technology, organization, and environment are the factors that encourage MSMEs in adopting social media. Furthermore, the social media adoption has good impact in form of profit to MSMEs performance, which include performance in customer service, sales, marketing, and internal operation. Then, MSMEs in city and district of Bandung are advised to maintain the social media adoption variable because with this variable, the technology, organization, and environment variable have greater effect on MSMEs performance. This study only analyzed how the adoption of social media with determine of technology, organization, and environment variable. We can improve the business performance of an MSMEs in city or district of Bandung. There is a possibility that there are other variables that can affect the business performance of MSMEs. So the next outdoor suggests that future researchers should analyze and explore other variables. In addition, the object of this research is MSMEs that have adopted social media technology and are domiciled in the city and district of Bandung only. Where the result and conclusion of this study maybe not can be generalized to other industry. Therefore, it is highly recommended that further research on this topic be carried out in other industry. Okay, I think that's all about my paper presentation. So, thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.